second floor. Basically the very same layout as we just had downstairs. This is obviously into the drywall stage right now. You can see where the LED lights are all been cut in. They're all set to go, so obviously everybody's done in here. So the drywallers will be another week or so, and then we'll begin the finishing process. We're doing one small build a year type thing. We're doing an 8-plex behind us right now. We finished 8 last year. We're hoping to do another 10 affordable housing units next year. We'll be making an application to the district, and if it's approved, we'll be building 10 more units. So these are a 1-bedroom unit. That is the biggest need according to the district reports right now. That's what they're looking for, and I understand that. We get calls every day for units. So these have got on the main floor. Different this year is we made them all accessible units, so they've all can deal with wheelchair visibility, things like that. All got big bathrooms in them. Each unit has its own, obviously, bedroom, separate bedroom, and a full kitchen with full-size appliances and living space as well. So they're about 600 square feet, but when you see the layout inside, it works quite well. We've been using this layout now for the last 3 buildings, and our intent is to use it again for the next building. It's working well. The tenants are quite happy with it. So we use top quality products and totally energy efficient. So first off, you'll notice we use an ICF build, insulated concrete foam, which is the most durable, strongest build you can do, and the best insulated. And then all our fixtures inside are LED fixtures, lighting. So low energy consumption. We do R60s in the ceilings, so we over insulate in the ceilings. So we're really trying to make an efficient building is what we're trying to do. Low flush toilets, things like that, just to consume energy, water wherever we can, and it makes the building much more efficient. And because of the ICF construction with the concrete walls between the units, we've got great sound barriers too. So they're good, solid units. It's not like a building where somebody can jump around and you can hear it all throughout the building, because nobody wants that. Everybody wants to live in peaceful enjoyment.
Working in affordable housing, Hernan is actually not impacted by things like development charges. However, the former Town of Huntsville staff member did take Huntsville Council to task in a recent meeting where a proposal to increase development charges for residential builds was discussed.
So I do believe that development needs to pay for development. I have no qualms with that at all. What alarmed me with the Town of Huntsville's most recent Development Charge Act that they're looking at in the bylaw is they've identified $60 million worth of new capital items that this community is going to need over the next 10 years for 2,000 homes, because that's their growth they're predicting. 200 homes per year and $60 million. Now they say that 20 million of that they're gonna is due to the existing infrastructure replacement. So that only puts 40 million onto the new developer, if you will, or the new build, and 20 million back on the taxpayer, the existing. And when I looked at that $60 million list, I almost fell over. I'll just come out and say it. It looked like to me like a Christmas wish list. I do have a lot of knowledge in the town in the background and things that go on. And I'm not saying they didn't need the stuff, but I'm saying it's not growth related. So we can't bill it to the new developer. My kids want to move back here and buy a home. They can't afford it. Development charges are killing them. And when I looked at that and seen 2 new plow trucks, well, we have 450 kilometers of center line of roads. We basically have 10 trucks now, so it's about 45 kilometers a truck does, if you will. And they're telling me they need 2 new trucks in the next 10 years. So that tells me they're going to build 90 kilometers of roads. Like, no, they're not. There's a few subdivisions going in. There's a lot of infill. They said they need 2 more sidewalk plows. Well, 2 look after the entire town network. So you're telling me we're going to double our sidewalk network in the next 10 years?
Yeah.
There was $1 million set aside for a sidewalk on Highway 60. That's a provincial highway. No, that's not our responsibility. We have a sidewalk down through there now. Why are we even trying to save $1 million for this? And that's what I was saying to council is go back and take a look at this list, and we could talk about every item on that list. I'm not saying some of that stuff isn't needed today, but it's not due to new growth. And that's what council needs to decide. And if we do need another plow truck, then they have to sit down at budget time and make those tough decisions and set their priorities where they are. They're talking about in the development charges, covering the arena floor. So getting a system that'll cover the floor so they can hold a dance or whatever and vent on it when the ice is in. How do you blame that on growth?
Yeah.
How do you, 2,000 residents is causing that? I struggle with it. Bus stops, we don't have any bus stops in town. We could argue whether we should or shouldn't all day long, but now we're saying because we're going to have a growth that we're going to need them all over. So 2,000 or 20,000 residents can stand out today in the rain and wait for a bus, but if we have 2,000 more residents, we need all these bus stops?
Yeah.
I'm not saying we don't need them. I'm just saying it's not a growth-related item.
Again, while Hernan's current projects are not impacted by these development charges, as the Ford government put laws in place to specifically block DCs on confirmed affordable housing projects, he says he still will push on the town to think more about the needs of residents over the perceived wants.
You know, everybody knows housing is a crisis in this country. Every level of government should be stepping up to try and do something. Like I said, the provincial and the federal government is trying. We can argue whether it's enough or not. But then when I looked at what the local municipal government was about to pass, $60 million, I thought, you're not trying, folks. You're not trying. Go back and ask staff, is this truly a growth-related item? And if it's not a growth-related item, get it off the list. Ask yourself, if there was no more building permits issued today, how much of that stuff would still be on the list? And if they're going to say that that total list is 60 million is because of 2,000 more homes, somebody's going to have to do some more research to prove it to me anyways.